Joe Dispenza and Jesus are saying the exact same thing when it comes to how a thought becomes a thing in your life. And when you understand this concept, you can begin to create any reality you want in life. And I'm going to help you in the next few minutes to understand how this works and how it can work for you to change the game in every single area of your life. I'm Jim Yaw, and I found peace, purpose, and prosperity in my own life. You can have that as well in yours, and I can help. If that sounds like something you want more of, I invite you to subscribe below. If you want to give this video a like, leave me a comment so I can get to know you a little better. I'd love to do that. But we're getting right in to Joe Dispenza's 4 principles about how a thought becomes a thing, and how Jesus was saying this long before Joe ever came along. The first principle is simple. It's this: everything in this universe that exists started with a thought somewhere, either a thought in the mind of God or a thought in the mind of a human. This device I'm talking to you on today that I'm filming this video with is my iPhone. My iPhone was once just a thought in a creator's mind. Somebody came up with this thing and invented it, and it changed the world. It changed our lives and how we interact. But it was once just a thought in a person's head. Thoughts manifest themselves into reality when we think them long enough, and we go through the progression of these 4 principles that can create the reality we want. So Joe would say it this way: everything in your life that you are, everything you do, everything you believe about yourself, every outcome in your life all starts with a thought. It all starts with the way you think about a certain thing. Now, God says it this way in the Bible, and said this thousands of years ago back in the book of Proverbs. God said, as a man thinks, so is he. Or as a person thinks in our culture today, so are they. What does that mean? That means whatever you're thinking, that is what the outcome is going to be in your life. We become what we believe. I'll give you an example from my own life. I spent a lot of my life feeling small, thinking I had potential, but not a lot of potential, thinking I had talent, but not a lot of talent. I looked at myself for so long in my life as kind of a jack of all trades and a master of none. I did not realize my communication ability and some of the gifts I'd been given in my life that were bigger gifts than what I ever recognized they were. I saw myself always as small. Now, when I began to rewire my brain and think in a new way and begin to believe that new horizons were possible, unlimited horizons, as we talk about here on this channel, were possible, I started looking at myself in a new way. I started looking at life in a new way, God in a new way, everything in a new way, and it changed it all. Why? Because thoughts are that primary principle that drives everything we do. Now, kind of the second thing is the feelings we attach to those thoughts. That's the second principle. How you feel about your thoughts wraps around those thoughts, and it kind of superpowers your thoughts. It super enforces it, because with every thought you have a feeling attached to that thought. When I felt like I was small and insignificant and I could do certain things but I couldn't do bigger things, I had these feelings of insignificance deep in my heart that I had to let go of. And I have videos below if you want to check some of those out on how to let go of the big things we hold on to in our life. But I was holding on to a lot of false beliefs about myself because I had a lot of bad feelings attached to my thoughts. We really begin to learn to let go of the old way of thinking when we start evaluating how we feel about what we're thinking. If you feel like you're small, it's even more powerful than thinking you're small. If you feel those negative feelings of, oh man, I would, but I can't because, and it makes me feel depressed, it makes me feel sad, it makes me feel little, whatever it is for you, those thoughts and feelings coupled together, they are driving your life. Now, here's what Jesus says later on about all of this. He's talking to the Pharisees, who were these religious leaders in his day, and they were very concerned about rules and regulations, the external part of our lives. And Jesus said to them one time, if you wash the inside of the cup and the dish, the outside will also be clean. Now, what's he talking about? He's given an example to them that they can understand in their time. And he's saying, you're focused on the outer world. And he said, the outer world is not where the magic is. The inner world is where the magic is. It's in our thoughts and our feelings that we're driving our reality. And we do the same thing in our world today. We try to change our life through manipulating the things on the outside of us, making that SP, that relationship, come into our life, trying to force it to happen by sheer force of personality and how we live and how we behave, and going after it with gusto. We start that new business and we want it to happen, or we have that dream home. And I'm not saying don't take action. We're going to get to that here in just a minute in your life. But what I'm saying, when it's all about hustle and grind and action, and we're working on the outside to make our dreams a reality, we've missed the boat. We've missed the purpose. It's from the inside going to the outside that we create the reality that we want. Dispenza says it starts with our thoughts and our feelings, and changing how we think and how we feel about who we are and what we can be. We drive it from the inside out, and the outside environment begins to just fall in place. And that's what Jesus is talking about to the Pharisees. He said, you get the inside right, and the outside's going to take care of itself. The how is not up to you. The how is up to God. The how is up to source. The inside part is up to you. Believing the impossible is possible. Believing you can do more than you ever thought you could do. Believing you can do anything you set your mind, your thoughts to, and you attach strong emotion, strong feeling to, you can change it all. So it starts with a thought. It begins to progress when we start to change our feelings about how we think. And then guess what happens? Our behaviors and our beliefs begin to change, and they change our identity. And that's principle number 3. You begin to develop a new identity when your thinking changes and your feeling changes. You literally start becoming a new person. Dispenza said it like this. He said, if you want to change your personal reality, you have to change your personality, because our personality drives our personal reality. What's he saying? Same thing Jesus said there again. Work on the inside of the cup. The outside will take care of itself. Change your personality. Change your inner look at how life works, how you work, how God works. When you change that, the outside's going to change as well, because you're changing your thoughts and feelings, but you're also, over time, changing your beliefs about how everything works. And when your beliefs change, guess what changes? Your behavior changes. And as your behavior changes, you begin to create a whole new identity. You begin to believe you can do things you never thought you could do. You begin to stop seeing why you can't and start seeing why you can, why you couldn't and shouldn't, and why you can and you should. You start seeing life in a whole new way. Henry Ford said it this way: whether a man thinks he can or thinks he can't, he's right. And I love that quote, because that's what it's all about. If you think you can't, you can't. And if you think you can, you can. It's all about living from the inside out. So principle 1, it all starts with a thought. Principle 2, we attach strong feelings to the way we think, and it creates principle 3 for us, our identity. You create an identity, a belief system, a behavior system, the whole package that is you, based around how you think and how you feel. And then principle number 4, here's where the power is at. When we change our identity, when we get a new personality, as Joe says, and we create a new personal reality, we start to change reality in our life. That's principle 4. You can change your reality. That's when your thought starts becoming a new thing. You've changed the way you think, you changed the way you feel, change the way you believe and you behave. It's created this new identity, and now suddenly you're creating a brand new reality. Here's what Jesus said. One of the key verses in the Bible, one of the key statements he's known for saying, this is kind of Jesus boiling it down to what it's all really about. And he said this: love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. Now, he's saying that our world is about an inner spiritual connection there, a connection with a divine consciousness that connects us all together and all of reality together, all of the universe together, and connects all of us to that divine consciousness called God that's driving it all. And what does Jesus say about that? Listen to his words. Nothing has to do with anything external in his words. It's not about anything we do on the outside. It's not cleaning up the outside of the cup, as he told the Pharisees. It's about cleaning up the inside. Those are all internal powers and realities he's talking about. Love the Lord your God with what? Your heart inside, your soul inside, your mind inside, your strength, not your physical strength, your spiritual strength, all inner realities. Jesus and Joe are saying the same thing. You want to change your life? Don't get out here and try to change your life. Change your heart, change your soul, change your mind, change your thinking, change your belief about yourself and how reality really works. And then you will begin to change it all. That's what Jesus and Joe are both saying, and that's what can change your life today. What's one thing you would like to change? Tell me in the comments. What is a reality you've believed about yourself up till now in this life that you no longer want to believe is reality? What is the new possibility you want to embrace today? Tell me in the comments, and today I want to challenge you to begin to take the first steps to changing it all. It starts right here with thinking in a new way. Plant a new thought in your head today and get ready to change the game. If you need some help with that, again, subscribe below, because I share all kinds of content every single week here on exactly how to do that in your life.